The Untucked Augsburg Confession, AD 1530. Translation and historical notes by Glen Thompson. Historical introduction. Martin Luther's study of the Bible in the years leading up to 1517 caused him to see God's grace clearly for the first time. He gradually came to see that the sinners are saved by the grace of God as a result of Jesus Christ's perfect life and perfect death on the cross. When Luther learned this, he came to see more clearly the false teachings and practices of the Roman Catholic Church. False teaching about repentance and forgiveness of sins led Luther to write his 1995 thesis. As time went on, he spoke out more and more boldly for reforms. Early in 1521, he was excommunicated from the church. That same year, he lost his citizenship in the Holy Roman Empire because of his defense of biblical teaching. However, Luther's teaching continued to spread through Europe. Many attempts were made to reunite the church. The emperor was worried because the Turkish army, made up of Muslims, was attacking Austria and threatening to overrun Europe. The emperor thought that his army could defeat the Turks only if the church was first reunited. In 1530, Emperor Charles V tried one last time to reunite the followers of Luther with the Roman Catholic Church. He commanded the Lutherans to appear at a diet or council in the southern German town of Augsburg. Since Luther was still considered an outlaw, he was not able to go. Philip Melanchthon took Luther's place as the chief Lutheran theologian. An official from Saxony wrote the preface. Melanchthon wrote the rest of the Augsburg Confession, basing it on other writings of Luther and his followers, the Schwabach articles, Torgau articles, and other writings. The first 21 articles or chapters explain the faith and doctrine of the Lutherans. These were followed by 7 more articles explaining some of the false practice that the Lutherans had corrected. After much discussion, seven Lutheran princes and representatives of 2 German cities decided that the Augsburg Confession was an accurate explanation of their faith and practice. The princes and representatives then signed the document to show their approval of it. They were John, the Duke of Electoral Saxony, the territory where Luther lived and worked; George, a Prince of Brandenburg, a territory in northeastern Germany; Agnes and Francis, both Dukes of Lueneberg, a territory in northern Germany; Philip, ruler of Hesse, a territory in north-central Germany; John Frederick, the Duke of Ducal Saxony, a territory east of Luther's part of Saxony; Wolfgang, Prince of Anhalt, a territory north of Saxony; representatives of the town council and leaders of Nuremberg, an independent city in southeastern Germany; representatives of the town council of Reutlingen, an independent city in southwest Germany. The Augsburg Confession was written in both German and Latin, or translations follow the Latin more closely than the German. The German copy was read to the council at Augsburg on June 25, 1530. The Catholics condemned the confession and they wrote a long response to it. Melanchthon then wrote a much longer apology, meaning defense, of the Augsburg Confession. This was given to the emperor in September of 1530 and later expanded further by Melanchthon. Years later, Melanchthon, made significant changes that weakened the truth of the Augsburg Confession, especially in its teaching on the Lord's Supper. After Luther's death, these changes caused confusion and conflict among his followers. In 1580, the original unaltered, unchanged Augsburg Confession, the version of 1530, and the Apology of the Augsburg Confession were included as part of the Book of Concord, the official book of confessions of the Lutheran Church. The tradition presented here is based on that F. Bente and W. H. T. Dow published in 1921 in the Concordia Triglotta. Our version attempts to update the English and simplify it for general congregational use. Marginal notes have been added to explain the technical terms, proper names, and historical references. The sentence numbering of the Triglotta has been retained for easy reference. Today, when Lutheran pastors and teachers enter the ministry, they still swear to uphold the teachings of the Bible as explained in the Book of Concord, including the Augsburg Confession.